Alright, going to continue with the wiring here a little bit. So here's the side of the trailer, and if you'll remember, there's a piece of conduit that runs from here to here. It's this piece of PVC pipe. There's a switch in the wall. There's a porch light here. The switch in the wall is for the porch light. And then I also drilled through the top here, so right through there. And this is where all the wires will run, and they'll run out in here. So I've already done one of them, and what I found is that the pull strings, they work reasonably well, but really you pretty much got to get your finger in there and go fishing for the wires. So what I've done is I've drilled a hole here inside the cabin. Hopefully it's not too dark so you can see it. A hole here inside the cabin. Now this hole will be covered with another light which I've decided to put in here, which is just a little courtesy light. And so I'll need to pull the wires for this through this hole, but also this gives me some access so I can get my finger in there to fish the wires the way I want them to go. Feel the end of it, but I can't pick it up. So those are wired up. Let's see. I've got the wires here. This is for the porch light, and this one is for the interior courtesy light. So this wire on the porch light goes down to the switch here, and then another wire comes up from the switch to the outlet for the porch light. So that allows me to switch the porch light. And then the courtesy light just comes out like that. Okay, so now that I've got the wires on the sides here through, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the holes for running the wires inside the ceiling. So you can see where I've marked. This is where all the drill holes will be, and the wires will come. Here's for the running lights, and those wires will go to the back. And then here's for where the reading lights are going to be, and so those wires will go to the back as well. So I need to drill these holes. What I've done is I've offset them exactly 6 inches, or right at 6 inches from the side here. That way I'll know when I'm putting this thing together that don't put any screws or any nails or anything like that exactly 6 inches from the side. So I've tried to maintain that clearance all the way around. Okay, so the plan is to have the power converter right here, the battery right here. This is there's a cabinet, or there's the countertop right here. Back comes up like this, so there's a void down in here. So there's a battery and there's a power converter. So I'll need to run all my wiring to here. So the plan is, what I want to do is I want to put an outlet here, and then I'll put a chase that runs along the surface of this countertop area right here, and it's going to go up and go into the back of the cabinet inside. Now what I had originally wanted to do is I had originally wanted to run the wires inside of these bulkheads, but I decided that that was just going to be too much to try and get everything to line up. So I will make some little wooden wire molds, if you will, to run the wires through. So what I want to do is I want to go into the cabin, and there's the cabinet inside the cabin, and I'm going to drill a hole right here down in this corner. So this is where the wires will come through. I'll have a 120 volt or 110 volt that runs along here and drops down into a box, and also a 12 volt that runs that way. But then the rest of the wires will come up through here. So come up the back of the cabinet and pierce through to the roof, to the ceiling. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those holes now. All right, so there's both the holes drilled, and now I'll start running the wire. So that's as far as they go on this side. I'm going to put a little knot in it right here. So I'll take that knot out, but I just don't want it to pull through and leave me short by accident. So we're inside the trailer, and my wife and I came out here and we kind of got in and laid down and decided where we wanted to have the reading lights. So these are the reading lights, and I had originally thought of putting them right here, but we found that that if I put them right here, we'd be hitting our heads on them. So we decided to put them over here on the corner, and since they swivel and tilt and all that kind of stuff, I think it'll be fine. So we decided to mount them right here. So you see what I've done is I've drilled a little hole so I know where it's positioned on the outside, and then take you outside here. So here's where the hole comes through. I've marked it so I can get a center line. I'm going to take this piece of scrap plywood, and I'm going to glue it in place right here. And what that'll do is that'll give me a surface to put screws into. So it's just a little backing block. I basically just kind of get that centered here. And then I'll use just a piece of foam insulation as a wedge to just kind of wedge it in place. There we go. So I'll just leave that overnight, and that one should be on there.